Okay guys, I just recently made a video talking about August trading and how low volume and thin it is, and I just keep talking about patience. Today's a great example of what I mean by that when I say patience. It's more than just a word. It's don't trade unless you have something that's got passion, volume, the chart makes sense. A lot of the little low volume bases, breaks, you get little fake outs and everything. So if you get something with some passion in it, you still have a good chance to take a trade. Now, if you're nickel and diming yourself to death on a bunch of stuff that you think, well, maybe that could work. I always say that in our chat room. I said, if you ever just are looking at a trade and you say to yourself, yeah, maybe that could work, let that trigger a new emotion that tells yourself as a reminder, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to take those. You save yourself a lot of money and heartache if you just wait, in my opinion. So I've got a couple examples from today that show, passion, shape, volume, that sort of thing. So I made 3 calls all day. One of them was this Arena Pharmaceuticals, ARNA, was getting volume early. Okay, you can see the little breakout today. The daily chart was interesting to me where it opened. Okay, it opened right, it's not easy to draw here, right there. So it opened above this little flag here, right? Opened above that, and you had a recent nice 2-day move with a high there. So over this high, you've got more potential. So it opens in like mini breakout territory with another catalyst just to the left. And if I switch to 5-minute candles, you'll notice this is the other ingredient I'm looking for. It's opening to a place that it's got room on the chart, and then look at the volume. Or just even if I just kind of draw a line on the tops of all the volume candles versus all day Friday. I mean, you can see how much more volume took place in the first 30 minutes or so of trading. Look at this, all these volume candles or sticks here versus the early trading on Friday. So you know you've got relative volume, you know you're in breakout territory, and then on 5-minute candles here, it's kind of flagging, okay? So my call was a long if it gets to 885, worst case stop 875. And then as we scroll over, there's the trigger. We get through the high of the day. And at this point, I moved my stop to 882. So now the 885 entry, and you've got a 3-cent stop. Originally, my risk was 10 cents. 5 minutes into this trade, my risk is 3 cents a share. And it just rode the 8-period moving average up and ended up moving up 50 cents for us. Tons of volume, plenty of volume. It wasn't like it wasn't a liquid stock. 22 million shares. So and scaled out all the way up. So Arena was very nice. Another one with an example of shape and volume. GGP had this crazy move the other day, inside day on Friday. And then if I show you what it looked like, okay, today, I would love to tell you I bought it right here, but I didn't. We noticed it in the chat room because 1 million shares took place here in 5 minutes, right? 1 million shares traded in about 5 minutes, and it just kept going. Now, one thing I teach is if you see something like this and it's a recent hot stock, you can just grab it right here on that first 5-minute candle and put your stop below that 5-minute candle. I didn't do that. We've affectionately named that a Tokyo trade in our chat room. But if you did do that, if you saw this and thought, hey, this could be something, you can grab it here as long as you have a defined stop in place, which would be below the 5-minute candle. So it would have to trade 1 million shares, do this pop, and then immediately reverse for you to be wrong. So there's nothing wrong with that. To me, it kind of feels like, hey, I'm chasing, but it does make sense, and it is a tradable event and a way to trade it as long as your position size makes sense. Anyway, I didn't do that. I let it trade, and when it looked like this, of course, I'm wishing I would have done it, but there's no telling. This could have reversed. Anyway, long story short, waited for this pullback, went ahead and called this long right here at 20 bucks. Worst case stop was below this candle, 1992. So 8 cents risk. And it was on the way back up, by the way. And from 20, it gets up to about 20.35. And this is another example. As it climbs, within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we're to a break-even stop. So, I mean, it was 8 cents risk, but after a few minutes, it was a lot less than that. It was break-even. And as we teach, scaled out into this pop. So, and the one trade I called that did not work was KB Homes, KBH. I like the daily over yesterday's high, 1103. I thought, hey, might get through this 1118 high and get a little short squeeze. A lot of shorts in KBH. Okay, so today's candle, I usually don't trade early. And I let this thing trade. I thought, first of all, when it looked like this, I said a break of the 5-minute high. this could break out. Didn't matter. It was a moot point because it went lower. Okay, so then when it looked like this, I said, well, this could have been a shakeout. Volume was decreasing. So I called it, if it broke this red candle's high, 1101, worst case stop, 1093. So 8 cents risk, triggers there and fails. So that's the one that didn't work. And if you want to find the one rule maybe that I broke, that you can't blame the rule for why this didn't work. But anyway, the one rule that I broke would be, trading in the first 15, 20 minutes. I don't usually do that. So that failed, but then Arena and GGP more than made up for it, but not a good way to start the day. So there's another example of if you trade in the first 15 or 20 minutes, you might want to reconsider, or at least trade very small. Okay. Anyway, I said to our room that Arena might be a nice swing on a small portion. I don't have any more. I'm all cash as always every night, but this one ended up closing strong, so this could be multi-day. Doesn't mean I would grab it up here, but for those members that got it at 885, they've already got like a 50-cent cushion, and this could be a good overnight hold. Anyway, I'm not going to babble any further. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.